The Thieves. So I saw this trailer randomly, and I'm usually not into heist movies, but I was like, fuck it, I'll watch it. So I knew no one in this movie, and then it turns out that I knew a bunch of people in this movie. I knew like a couple of people in this movie. So, like, the girl from A Good Day to Have an Affair, the woman that I actually liked, and the couple that I liked with Minky, she was in it, she was great. And, yeah, this is a typical heist movie, but it was so much fun. Way too long, though. It was 2 hours, and it could have been way shorter, because the last, I don't know, like, there was, like, half an hour of just, like, nothing. Like, not nothing, but it was, like, let's move on, let's fucking move on. The story is about a Korean crew of thieves and a Chinese crew of thieves getting together, working together to steal this diamond that's worth like 30 million. It's like this giant diamond. So they need to steal it from a casino where this woman has it. Apparently she stole it from Japan. She's bringing it into Hong Kong, and they need to go there and get it. Now, the Korean and Chinese crew do not trust each other. They do not like each other. But then, also in each crew, there's distrust and dislike. And it's so much fun. It's like the typical interactions where it's like, they're gonna, like, stab each other in the back at some point. And there's just so many, like, twists and turns in this. And I called a few of them. There's just so many that was like, okay, this needs to happen and this needs to happen. And I called a few of the plot twists, but there's just so many that it's like, fuck it, I give up. Like, I'm not even gonna try and think about what's happening. I'm just gonna enjoy it. It was really fun. And it's just them, like, getting together and planning the heist and then executing the heist, and all of that is great. But once they get the diamond, which they do, it's like halfway through the movie they actually get the diamond, then it becomes ridiculous, because it's just like, okay, let's move on. You know, like, who's gonna get the diamond at the end? That's the movie, right? Like, that's the heist movie formula where they need to get something, money, an object, whatever. So who's gonna get it at the end? After a bunch of plot twists, who's gonna end up with the money? But there was just like an entire section where the diamond was at a location, and it's like, let's move on. We know where the diamond is. Like, let's go get it. Let's do something, please. Oh my god. After Hong Kong, they go back to Korea, and that whole section is just so slow. Even though there's like action scenes and people chasing each other and people doing shit, it's still, at the end of the day, you know, in the context of the plot, nothing happened. Like, it was just very boring to me, that whole section. So that really brought me down. But then by the end, I was like, it goes back up at the end. It picks back up, and it's super fun. I really enjoyed it, especially like the first section where it's like planning the heist and actually doing it. It was so much fun, and it was easy to follow. They did a really good job at establishing the relationships between people, because that's my issue with a lot of Korean movies that I've seen so far. It seems like they just cut off scenes where there's explanation, like in Commitment, in Rough Play, in whatever else I saw recently. Like, I feel like the scenes they're there to, like, oh, for The Emperor. That movie's so guilty of that. Where the sun is fucking blinding me. Where it seems like they just cut out all the scenes that are like setup scenes, you know? And this movie did not do that, so I was very happy. This movie actually did a really good job at establishing the characters, because there's a lot of characters, like, right off the bat. You meet the Korean crew, and then you immediately meet the Chinese crew, and then they get together, and there's just a lot of going back and forth. And it's very fast-paced at the beginning, so you need to know who's who to not get confused. And the characters are really well made and established, so that there's, at no point are you confused about who's who. Like, you know, he's this guy, and he did this, and this is his relationship with this person, and that person, and that's. They do a really good job at establishing their previous relationships, because they know each other and they've worked together before, a lot of these people being thieves and all. And being a thief sounds so fun. Oh my god, it's like being a spy, but cooler. Like, that's honestly the best part to me about heist movies, and I don't watch them that often because I don't really like them, but the parts that I do enjoy are like the cool parts of actually being like a spy, but you get diamonds at the end, so I really like that. But yeah, I did a really good job at not confusing you, because it's a lot of people and a lot of fast-paced, you know, dialogue, and they need to go this and do that and blah 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 and set up a bunch of things, and they do a good job at establishing this is what we need to get, this is where it's at, this is how we're gonna do it, let's fucking do it. It was very organized, and I really like that. So yeah, it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. The characters were fun, and their interactions were fun, and seeing all the plot twists and who's gonna betray who and who's gonna end up with the diamond at the end, because that ultimately that's what it's all about. You pick a favorite character and you're like, I hope that person ends up with the diamond. Like, that's... And I was pretty happy with how it ended, but then I was like, shit. It's like, I have mixed feelings about the ending. It's like, shit. Because it's like, right up until the end, there's just betrayals everywhere. So, at no point are you absolutely certain about what's gonna happen. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. The acting was great. It was really funny. There was a lot of great moments. So... And, you know, there's a bit of romance, but it's not in-your-face romance. It's actually pretty cool. And some cool scenes, shooting scenes, and yeah, like, they blew up shit. Like, they just blew shit up. But yeah, it was fun.
자, 선수 입장한다.
여기 모인 여러분들은 모두가 다 훌륭한 전문가들입니다.
我们要在赌场偷点什么呢？
我们的目标太阳酒类
얼마에 팔 건데?
$2,000 2천만 불.
2,000만美金! 2,000만美金!
첫째, 지정석 확보. 우리 일본인 부부는 돈을 아낌없이 바카라에 쏟아붓습니다. 둘째, 지형 파악. 건물 안의 구조, 직원들의 동선을 파악합니다. 앤드류.
왜 이러고 나 혼자 시키고 수고했어.
자, 다음은 뽀빠이가 맡아.
뒷판에 도착. 어디 가도 돈 수트케이스 2개. 야, 카지노로 갑니다.
예니콜, 잠바노. 니네들이 오늘 밤 한 팀이다.
이거 보소?
작업해야지. 그렇게 좋니? 레디 액션!
빵의 금고. 이거 5초 만에 열면 끼워주고.
3초.
신보 모욕!
자기 돈 버는데 방해돼 내가?
我不太相信马后炮，所以我们叫现金。
그 다이아 우리가 다 먹는 거야.
내가 아주 어마어마한 정보를 알고 있는데.
아이고 씨발 도둑놈들하고 일하려니까 불안불안하네.